Hello everyone, welcome back to platform of Bioruminates, and today we are going to deal with the third part of chapter biomolecule, that is proteins. So proteins are the polymer of the amino acids. As we have seen the structure and function of the amino acid in the previous lecture, and link for that lecture is given in the description box. So let us start with the protein and its structural function. So protein are the linear sequences of the amino acids which are linked by a very strong bond, that is the peptide bond. So as you can see in the figure that there are four different amino acids which are represented by different colored circles are joined together by a peptide bond which starts with the N terminal and ends to the C terminal. So these are the chemically covalent bonds, and the other name for the peptide bond is the amide bond. And how peptide bond is formed? It is formed between the carboxylic group of one amino acid and amino group of other amino acid. That is why one amino group is free at the N terminal and one carboxylic group is free at the C terminal, and this bond is CONH bond. Water is released during the peptide bond formation, as you can see in the figure, and peptide bond formation is a condensation reaction, whereas when you will break down a peptide bond, then water molecule will be released. That is why it is known as a hydrolysis reaction. So as we have discussed in the previous slide कि आपका जो peptide bond है, it is the adjoining force between two amino acids. So when two amino acids will be joined together, it will be known as the dipeptide. Now what are oligopeptides? Oligopeptides are the peptides where 2 to 25 amino acids are joined together to form a long unbranched chain through the peptide bond. And we will say it a polypeptide when there will be more than 25 amino acids present in it. So what are the essential peptides? Before going into proteins, we should know that इन द बायोलॉजिकल सिस्टम हमारे पास कुछ एसेंशियल पेप्टाइड्स होते हैं. सबसे पहला एग्जांपल है आपके पास ग्लूटाथायोन. ग्लूटाथायोन एक ट्राई पेप्टाइड है जिसमें आपका ग्लाइसिन, ग्लूटामिक एसिड और सिस्टीन प्रेजेंट है. ठीक है, ये जो मॉलिक्यूल है इट यूजुअली एक्ट एज अ एंटीऑक्सीडेंट. एंटीऑक्सीडेंट मतलब जब भी आपकी रिएक्टिव ऑक्सीजन स्पीशीज सेल के अंदर फॉर्म होंगी तो उनको नलीफाई करने के लिए या उनके इफेक्ट को डिस्टॉर्ट करने के लिए ग्लूटाथायोन विल वर्क. बेसिकली इट इज़ प्रेजेंट इन हाई क्वांटिटी इन द पेरोक्सिसोम्स. सेकेंड एग्जाम्पल ऑफ essential peptide is angiotensin. It contain 8 to 10 amino acid and it acts as a vasoconstrictor. So what are these vasoconstrictor? Means such molecule जो आपकी vessels की constriction कराते हैं. Last essential peptide is bradykinin. Bradykinin is a pain producing molecule, which means that जब भी आपकी body में कोई unwanted reaction होता है inside the body, तो उसके तरफ आपका ध्यान ले जाने के लिए आपकी body में एक molecule produce किया जाता है जिसको bradykinin बोलते हैं, and it is made up of 9 amino acids. Along with the essential peptide, there are also some artificial peptides which are beneficial for humans. For example, aspartame. Aspartame is a dipeptide. It is made up of aspartic acid and phenylalanine. और ये artificial sweetener की तरह इसको use किया जाता है. Why it is used as artificial sweetener? Because हमें पता है जो भी diabetic patient हैं वो आपका शुगर के ऊपर डिपेंड नहीं कर सकते हैं फॉर द स्वीटनेस इन देयर डाइट. फॉर सच पेशेंट्स aspartame इज अ ब्लिस. Now let us discuss about general properties of the proteins. So if we see towards the cell, तो एक सेल के प्रोटोप्लाज्म के अंदर approximately 10 to 12% प्रोटीन कंटेंट प्रेजेंट होता है. Rather than it, protein is made up of 5 different molecules which are present in the earth, atmosphere and crust, which includes carbon, which is making the 51% of the protein component, oxygen that is 25%, nitrogen is 16%, hydrogen 7%, and sulfur is 0.4%. So these protein components are highly diverse molecules. डाइवर्सिटी इज सेड इन टर्म्स ऑफ द शेप कि इनकी शेप बहुत ज़्यादा वेरी करेगी, साइज़ वेरी करेगा प्रोटीन्स का, नंबर और सीक्वेंस क्या है अमाइनो एसिड का, क्या परमुटेशन कॉम्बिनेशन प्रेजेंट है वो भी डिफरेंट प्रोटीन्स में वेरी करेगा. रादर देन इट, जो भी आपके प्रोटीन्स हैं इनको हम मेजर करेंगे इन बाय यूजिंग द यूनिट डाल्टन और किलो डाल्टन. So as we now know about the core general features of a proteins, now let us discuss about the structural organization of the proteins. Starting from the very basics, we can divide protein into four structural organization. First is your primary structure, followed by secondary, tertiary and quaternary structures, and these will be discussed in the upcoming slides. So firstly we have to discuss about the primary structure of the protein. This primary structure is made up of linear sequences of amino acid which are joined together by peptide bond. So as we have discussed, your proteins will usually be the polypeptides, and we will start reading your proteins from N terminal ending towards the C terminal. As in case of the nucleic acid, we read it from the 5 terminal to the 3 terminal end. And primary structure is the most unstable structure of the protein, because in this form there are rare proteins which can perform their function. They need to further fold up or to attain the secondary tertiary structure to be stable and to perform the particular functions. Rather than it your primary structure determines the हायर लेवल स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ अ प्रोटीन्स. मीन्स आप प्राइमरी स्ट्रक्चर को स्टडी करके ये बता सकते हो कि अपकमिंग सेकेंडरी और टर्शरी स्ट्रक्चर प्रोटीन का कैसे होने वाला है. ठीक है. रादर देन इट डिफाइंस द बायोलॉजिकल फंक्शन ऑफ द प्रोटीन. मीन्स आप अमाइनो एसिड का सीक्वेंस स्टडी करके ये बता सकते हो कि ये पर्टिकुलर प्रोटीन आगे फोल्ड अप होके कौन से पर्टिकुलर फंक्शंस को परफॉर्म करेगा. एंड certain proteins are functional in their primary forms also, which means that there are certain kind of proteins जो primary structure की form में भी अपना normal function perform कर सकते हैं. और example है आपके पास ribonuclease and the myoglobin protein, which is a oxygen storing protein present in case of the muscles. Now let us move towards the secondary structure of the protein. As you can see, the secondary structure is just made by folding up of the primary structure. तो जब हम primary structure को किसी एक uniform entity में fold करेंगे तो हमारे पास secondary structure बनेगा. And basically in nature there are two different type of secondary structure. One is your alpha helix and second is your beta plated sheets. और दोनों ही cases में जो आपका stabilizing force है for a secondary structure, it is usually the hydrogen bond. So non-covalent interaction, that is your hydrogen bond, is stabilizing the secondary structure of a protein. So firstly let us discuss about the alpha helical type of secondary structure. These are formed by your twisting of the primary polypeptide chain, and usually it is seen that the right handed alpha helix, that is the clockwise alpha helix, is more stable as compared to the left handed, that is the anti-clockwise alpha helix. And there are usually 3.6 amino acid which are present in per turn. Along with it, as I have said you earlier कि हाइड्रोजन बॉन्ड्स इंपॉर्टेंट हैं फॉर सेकेंडरी स्ट्रक्चर. तो यहाँ पे आप देखो इस डायग्राम में कि आपका जो फर्स्ट और फोर्थ अमाइनो एसिड है इसके बीच में एक हाइड्रोजन बॉन्ड फॉर्म हो रहा है, जिसकी वजह से आपकी जो पॉलीपेप्टाइड चेन है वो ट्विस्ट होके एक हेलिकल स्ट्रक्चर को अटेन कर रही है. रादर देन इफ वी सी टुवर्ड्स एग्जाम्पल ऑफ द अल्फा हेलिक्स स्ट्रक्चर, देन केराटिन, इट इज़ अ फाइब्रस प्रोटीन इन द स्किन, it is example of the alpha helix. Second is beta plated sheets. These usually involve 2 or more polypeptide segments. I'm saying again, not chains. These are involved with the polypeptide segments, और हर एक segment को हम कहते हैं beta strand. And these beta strands are fully extended conformations. Fully extended मतलब helix की तरह ही आपको coiled form में नहीं मिलेंगे, fully extended form में these are present. And as you can see in the figure, ये जो आपकी beta plated sheets हैं ये parallel forms present हो सकती हैं और anti parallel conformation में भी present हो सकती हैं. In the parallel conformation आपका जो N एंड N टर्मिनल है वो दोनों पॉलीपेप्टाइड सेगमेंट्स का एक ही डायरेक्शन में प्रेजेंट है, जबकि एंटी पैरेलल के केस में आपका एक N डायरेक्शन इज फॉर्मिंग द बॉन्ड विद द C साइड ऑफ अनदर पॉलीपेप्टाइड सेगमेंट. एंड इफ वी लुक टुवर्ड्स द एग्जांपल, बीटा प्लेटेड शीट्स का एग्जांपल है आपके पास फाइब्रिन्स विच आर द सिल्क प्रोटीन्स. Now, moving towards the tertiary structure of the proteins, it is known that tertiary structures are the 3D structures of the protein which are formed by folding of the secondary structures. और इस केस में बेसिकली कौन सी इंट्रैक्शंस इन्वॉल्व हैं जो आपका टर्शरी स्ट्रक्चर बनाती हैं, तो दीज आर कोवलेंट एंड नॉन कोवलेंट इंट्रैक्शन. कोवलेंट इंट्रैक्शन का एग्जांपल है डाइसल्फाइड लिंकेजेस, जिसमें आपके सिस्टीन रेजिड्यूज इन्वॉल्व होते हैं. जैसे कि आपने लास्ट लेक्चर में देखा था कि जो आपके सिस्टीन रेजिड्यूज हैं उसमें फ्री सल्फर ग्रुप प्रेजेंट है, जो सल्फर ग्रुप आपस में डाइसल्फाइड बॉन्ड क्रिएट करके टर्शरी स्ट्रक्चर को फॉर्म करने में हेल्प करता है. इसके अलावा कुछ नॉन कोवलेंट इंट्रैक्शंस भी इन्वॉल्व हैं. दीज इन्वॉल्व हाइड्रोफोबिक, इलेक्ट्रोस्टैटिक, हाइड्रोजन बॉन्ड एंड वेंडर वॉल इंट्रैक्शंस. एंड ये जो इंट्रैक्शंस हो रही हैं बेसिकली ये आपके अमाइनो एसिड्स के आर ग्रुप्स के बीच में हो रही है, मतलब साइड चेन्स के बीच में ये इंट्रैक्शन है जिसकी वजह से टर्शरी स्ट्रक्चर स्टेबलाइज हो रहा है. और एग्जांपल क्या है आपका टर्शरी स्ट्रक्चर का? मोस्ट ऑफ द एंजाइम्स आर एक्टिव ओनली इन द स्टेज ऑफ देयर टर्शरी स्ट्रक्चर. Now let us move towards the highest component of the protein structure, that is the quaternary structure. क्वाटरनरी स्ट्रक्चर के केस में आपकी दो या दो से ज़्यादा पॉलीपेप्टाइड चेन्स आपस में ज्वाइन करके एक सिंगल स्टेबल प्रोटीन फॉर्म करती है, जिसकी वजह से हम इन प्रोटीन्स को ओलिगोमेरिक और मल्टीमेरिक प्रोटीन्स भी कह देते हैं, क्योंकि इसमें मल्टीपल पॉलीपेप्टाइड चेन्स इन्वॉल्व हैं और ये आपके किसी भी प्रोटीन का मोस्ट स्टेबल स्ट्रक्चर है. तो जो सब यूनिट है आपके मल्टीमेरिक प्रोटीन की, इट कैन बी आइडेंटिकल. सो इफ़ आइडेंटिकल यूनिट्स आर इन्वॉल्व देन वी विल से इट एज अ होमोमेरिक प्रोटीन. और अगर डिफरेंट यूनिट्स इन्वॉल्व हैं तब हम कहेंगे इट इज़ अ हेटेरियोमेरिक प्रोटीन. ठीक है. और जो स्टेबलाइजिंग फोर्स है आपके क्वाटरनरी स्ट्रक्चर की, इट इज़ बेसिकली द हाइड्रोफोबिक इंट्रैक्शन, इलेक्ट्रोस्टैटिक इंट्रैक्शन, हाइड्रोजन बॉन्ड एंड कोवलेंट इंट्रैक्शन. And the most important example of your quaternary structure is the hemoglobin. Hemoglobin क्या है आपका? ये blood protein है and it is basically composed of 2 alpha and 2 beta subunits. So now let us move towards classification of the proteins, and proteins can be classified on the basis of its composition, its structure and on the basis of function. And first and foremost important is classification of the protein on the basis of its composition. And protein can be classified as simple, conjugative and derived protein. So simple proteins are the one where only amino acid is involved in forming a protein. No extra component is added in this case. And we will study further that your fibrous and globular proteins are involved in the category of your simple proteins. Then we have these conjugative proteins. In the cases of these conjugated proteins, there are complex compounds which are formed between the globular proteins which are joined to a non-protein material. So this non-protein material is usually known as prosthetic group, and we are going to discuss about different prosthetic groups in the upcoming slide. Last category is derived protein. So these are the proteins which are basically produced by denaturation or digestion of the normal protein components, and there are certain examples which are proteases, peptones, fibrin and myosin. So these proteins are released in the active form either by the digestion or by the denaturation of the normal proteins. Now let us discuss about the conjugative proteins, which is the category of the protein on the basis of composition. So as we have said that conjugative protein have simple protein part plus some prosthetic group. So there are certain categories of the conjugated protein described in this table. First is your glycoprotein. In case of the glycoprotein, protein are attached to the carbohydrate moiety. Example, certain your membrane structure and mucin. Mucin is part of the saliva. These are the example of glycoprotein. Second is the lipoprotein. In lipoprotein, your prosthetic group is lipid. It is also a membrane and structural component, and it is also involved in the lipid transport in the blood. Next is your chromoprotein. In case of the chromoprotein, the prosthetic group is pigment, and as we know that pigment containing proteins are present both in animals and plants, which include hemoglobin in case of the human blood, phytochrome, that is a plant pigment, and cytochrome, which is present in the mitochondria in both plants and animal. Next is your flavoprotein. In case of the flavoprotein, the prosthetic group is flavin adenine dinucleotide, and it has a role in electron transport chain in both mitochondria of your plants and animal. Next is your nucleoprotein. So in the nucleoprotein, there is a prosthetic group that is nucleic acid, and it is component of your viruses chromosome ribose structure. Next is your phosphoprotein. So in the phosphoprotein, the prosthetic group is your phosphoric acid, and it is component of casein of the milk or vitelline protein of the egg yolk. And last is the metal protein. So in this, metals are the associated with your protein component. It is usually seen in case of the enzyme. Example is nitrate reductase. So such kind of enzymes which are associated with metals for their particular activity are categorized under the metal protein. Proteins can also be classified on the basis of their structure, and basically they are the fibrous, globular and intermediate type of proteins. In case of fibrous protein, the secondary structure is the most important component, which means that the secondary structure is the basis for the fibrous protein. Such kind of protein are insoluble in water, they are long, they are tough, and they are parallel polypeptides which are cross-linked with each others at different intervals, which means that in case of the fibrous protein we will see the fully extended conformations, and usually such kind of proteins have structural and functional role. Example of such protein is keratin, present in the hairs, horns, nail and feathers. Other than it, collagen, the most abundant protein which is present in tendons, bone and connective tissue, and myosin, which is present in the muscles. Second category is the globular protein. In such kind of protein, the most important structure is the tertiary protein, tertiary structure, which means that for globular protein, tertiary structure is the basis. Such kind of proteins are soluble in water, they are compact and they are spherical in nature, and usually in such kind of proteins you will see that your hydrophobic amino acids will be present in the core, and your hydrophilic amino acids will be present on the surface of the globular proteins. Example of the globular proteins include hemoglobin, myoglobin, rubisco, albumin, histone, zenes, lectins, several enzymes, antibodies and certain hormones. Last category is the intermediate proteins. These are the fibrous protein in nature, but they are soluble in water. So this is a intermittent nature of a fibrous protein, that it can solubilize in water. Fibrinogen is the example of the insoluble fibrin protein, but it forms the insoluble clot when the blood clots. Otherwise it is a soluble sort of the protein. Let us move towards the last mode of classification for the protein, that is classification on the basis of their function. So protein can be categorized on the basis of their function. First is the structural protein, जिसका हमारी बॉडी में कोई स्ट्रक्चरल कंपोनेंट बनवाने में रोल है. फॉर एग्जांपल कोलेजन. कोलेजन जो है वो मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट एक्स्ट्रा सेलुलर मैट्रिक्स है. इट इज़ प्रेजेंट इन कनेक्टिव टिश्यू, बोन्स, टेंडन्स एंड कार्टिलेज, और इट इज़ द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट और मोस्ट abundant protein which is present in the animal kingdom. Second is keratin. Keratin is present in your skin, feathers, nails, hairs and horns. कैरेटिन में आपको बहुत ही ज़्यादा अमाउंट में डाइसल्फाइड लिंकेजेस मिलेंगी. इसके अलावा आपका प्रोटीन है इलास्टिन. इलास्टिन ऐसा प्रोटीन है जो आपकी बॉडी को इलास्टिसिटी प्रोवाइड करता है, विच इज़ प्रेजेंट इन द लिगामेंट्स. लास्ट स्ट्रक्चरल प्रोटीन डिस्कस्ड हियर इज योर वायरल कोट प्रोटीन, विच इज़ important to enclose the genetic material of the virus. Second type of the protein under the basis of function is the hormone. So several protein also act as the hormone, and two most important examples are insulin and glucagon, which acts opposite to each other. So insulin is for the glucose consumption by the liver cells, whereas glucagon act reversibly, that is, it is meant to release the glucose from the tissues. And glucagon is also activated during the growth, and it affects the activity of adrenal cortex. Next protein which we have to discuss is the respiratory proteins. Respiratory proteins means they are important for cellular respiration. Example is hemoglobin. It is important for transport of oxygen in the vertebrate blood, and myoglobin, which is a important protein for storage of oxygen in the muscles. Next category is transport proteins. These are essential for transport of fatty acid and lipids in the blood. Example is serum albumin. Next category is contractile proteins, which are important for contraction mechanisms in the body. First is myosin. Myosin is the moving filament in the myofibril of the muscle, whereas actin is the stationary filament which is important for movement in the muscle. Next category is the storage protein. Example is your ova albumin, which is present in the egg of the protein, which is important for growth of the embryo after fertilization. Rather than it, casein is a milk protein, which is also important storage protein. Next category is enzymes. Certain proteins have enzymatic activities. Example is trypsin, which is important for hydrolysis of protein. Rubisco, that is your important for catalysis of carbon dioxide fixation, and it is the most abundant protein present in the plant kingdom. Next is glutamine synthetase, which catalyze the synthesis of amino acid glutamine. Along with it, certain proteins have protective role. Example, your antibodies, which forms complex with the foreign proteins and stop the reaction inside the body. And another is thrombin, which is involved in the clotting. Certain proteins also act as toxins. Example, the snake venom, their enzymes are toxic, and diphtheria toxin, which is released by the diphtheria bacteria. So these are the different functions of the protein. So with this we are done with the component protein from the chapter biomolecule. I hope this lecture was beneficial for all of you. For more such lectures, please like, subscribe and share the channel Bioruminates. Thank you so much.